Hey everybody, Thursday morning, about 9 o'clock this morning. Getting ready to head out in a little while to the historic Synagogue at 6th and I downtown, kind of near Chinatown. It's in Chinatown, I guess. Chinatown, kind of 7th Street corridor there in D.C. We've got Kishi Bashi String Quartet tonight, which is a indie pop violinist, songwriter. It's an opening act. I'll probably end up on monitors, not sure. I'm working with a company called Potomac Sound, really good friend of mine, Andy Roberts, who I've been working with now for, 12, 13 years, maybe a little longer than that. Owns a sound company that does all the events there. This is, I'm not sure if this is a Live Nation show. We do a lot of shows for Live Nation there. We do Washington Performing Arts Society, and the synagogue itself also has their own concert series. So I'm not sure who's actually putting this on tonight. The last few shows we've had there have been pretty awesome. I got to mix front of house for John C. Riley and Friends a couple weeks back. We get a lot of great acts like that, folk acts, but we also get a lot of rock and roll. We've had Pete Yorn, we've had Adele, we've had Matisyahu, we've had all sorts of different people. You can check out the Historic Synagogue in 6th and I for yourself online. They've got a really cool website, and it's a really neat concert venue. It's small, it's intimate, it's challenging acoustically. There's a big dome kind of above the downstage edge. So going to try to do some recordings with, I'm using my iPhone today. I can't really be walking around with a bunch of cameras on the gig, so I'm going to try to shoot some video with my iPhone and see how that works for a first kind of test to get some gig footage uploaded for everybody to check out. So this is going to be kind of a normal day for me, and I'll try to video as we go. Like I said, it's 9 a.m. now. I'm going to get showered, get ready to go, pack my bag, brew some coffee. I've got one coffee pot going already, so I'll probably refresh my to-go mug. And then I'm going to take the train. I do this a lot. I take public transit. Parking in D.C. is pretty expensive, and it's a late night tonight, so I'll probably be leaving here somewhere around 10 in about an hour from now, and won't be back till midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. So pretty typical day, doing a big show. And I'll try to let you guys follow along. Thanks again. So getting ready to head out to the gig here, and I was packing my bag and realized yesterday when I did the video about what goes in my bag, I didn't look at all at the bag. So normally a lot of times I'll carry a Pelican if it's a bigger thing or if I'm traveling, but around town, not really necessary. So I'm going to flip the camera around here and show you this bag that I've got from a company called Rickshaw. These are handmade bags out in San Francisco. Awesome company. They do some custom bag work, but these essentially you can buy straight up off their website and buy the accessories and the bits and pieces you want and the configuration. This is an older one, and they make a more current version, but this one's 3 years old maybe, so check it out. So this is my Rickshaw bag here, sitting on top of my stool. I use a Apple Cinema display box as a stool here on my workbench. There's my Pelican down on the left, and just my general workbench desk area. You can see all my junk everywhere. So this bag's really cool. Flips open. It's got the Velcro silencers down here, so these are magnets built in there. You've got front pockets with these great little lanyards for putting keys and things on. I keep a extra mini flashlight in there. This one normally has like my personal stuff, wallet, phone, things like that go into that pocket when I'm walking about town, so it's over my shoulder, I can reach in. This one here gets other stuff, extra lanyards, USB sticks. This is a memory card wallet. I can keep extra memory cards in there. It holds a whole bunch of them. I think there's only one in there right now. Nope, two in there. Memory card wallet, very handy to have. I keep Sharpies, pencils, and stuff like that in there. Center compartment's got some space. I got, what do we got down there? Tea bags and unused new Band-Aids just in case. These are the knuckle ones, really handy on gigs, always busting knuckles apart. Got some extra matches in there. Little moleskin notebook, really handy to have. And then normally, this is kind of how I load it up. I got to roll a yellow spike there. Normally, I'll load it up kind of like this. So I'll stick the battery supply down in the corner there, which fits perfectly, lets the cable come out. I keep a lightning cable attached so I can have my phone charging in my pocket while I'm walking around. And there's a compartment back here, and I keep a black bag here just in case I need to carry anything secure, cash, or anything like that on me. My Chromebook fits in there nicely. And I will put older iPad 2 goes in there as well. I'm trying to do this one-handed while I hold the camera. So that all goes in there like that, and then I can close that over and totally protect it from the elements. This also comes out, so if I need to pull that out and just, I've done it maybe once where I've taken that out to make more room in the bag. If I'm traveling and I want to take my DSLR camera rig, I'll put that in there like that. So throw the GoPro in there today. I might be able to use this as a GoPro on a little desktop mic stand. Handy because then I've got the clamp to clamp onto railings and things, but I've also got a stand if I need to stand it up. Kind of heavy, but works for today. We'll stick that down in the bag down in there. Let me make some more room. And then things like hand lotion. I've got some extra mouthwash just in case I need to freshen up. Some white E-tape works really well for a simple way to mark consoles. And then my charger selection that I showed yesterday. Gerber tool probably go on my belt before I leave. Extra Sharpies. And then my coffee fits down here. So that's it. Just wanted to give you a quick look at the rickshaw bag. I'm all loaded up now. Getting ready to head out to the gig in about 30 minutes. All right, so it's just after 10 o'clock, heading down to the metro now to head over to Chinatown. I live on Capitol Hill, so it's maybe a 10-15 minute trip for me door to door to get to the gig. A couple things I forgot to throw in my bag when I was shooting the video that I'm just so used to having. Headphones, obviously. They're in my bag now, and got some earplugs always in there. They were buried in one of those front pockets. Didn't get a chance to show those. And set of gloves. Gloves are really, really important for loading and days like today when it's around 10 degrees outside Fahrenheit. We're having a really windy day here. But for loading, unloading, and generally moving around heavy equipment, you should definitely have a pair of gloves. So I'm going to jump on the metro and head across town, and we'll catch up over near the gig. So the job yesterday ended up being a little more hectic than I had planned for. Nothing unusual, just, we got caught into got into the workflow of setting everything up. Band arrived, sound check, opener and headliner together. Obviously, there just wasn't a whole lot of time on that job to be shooting any sort of video. So I went ahead and took some still pictures of us setting up, and I'll go through those right now so you can see kind of the venue and the space and what we were doing, and then I'll try to explain a little bit about what's going on. So I ended up on monitors using an LS9. The way it broke out was we had, I think it was 10 monitor mixes for the headliner, 2 sets of stereo in-ears for the lead, and a banjo player. Then we had 3 wedge mixes going, one for the lead player as a backup, one for the banjo player, and then one for a guest vocalist, and then 4 additional in-ear hardwired mixes. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, that's 9 mixes, I guess, total, with 2 of them being stereo. And then with the opener, we did 2 wedge mixes, so I was able to reuse and create a new scene on the LS9 for the opener, obviously, and reuse those downstage wedge mixes that you can see in the pictures here. They didn't end up there at all. There's some more pictures here coming up of one of the acts, the opener actually, sound checking, and you can kind of get an idea of what that looks like, kind of set up. So with the LS9, the input list, I've got some pictures that I took of the various channel input list, channel count kind of stuff. And let me see if I can get to one so I can walk through it real quick here. And so the string quartet was 4 violins. Each one of those had a DI, a Baggs DI, and a DPA clip-on mic on the near the bridge, basically near the F-hole of the bridge. Those are supplied by the group, who's also traveling with their own sound engineer for front of house. Good friend Trevor Higgins was the one who brought the rig from Potomac Sound and system engineered last night. And he also mixed the opener and did a great job. It sounded really, really nice from where I was sitting, which behind the stacks, but got a lot of good compliments from the band, from the other band, and from a lot of folks about how great it sounded. So you have 4 channels of strings: violin 1, 2, viola, and cello. And then violin 2 also played a mandolin, so you can see in this picture that there's DI and an Audio-Technica 450 pencil condenser side address covering the mandolin. The monitor request was that they did not want any DIs used in their ears, just because of the tone. So we were using the DPA mics for the in-ear mix, as I was, and that was a little bit challenging because the banjo player, both the banjo and the lead violin, a lot of effects. There are pedal boards, loops, all this other stuff. So trying to get any sort of isolation with 4 open DPAs and a bunch of electronic stuff going on, a little bit challenging. So you can see here after the cello, I've got a main DI on the lead violin, a solo DI, and then a DPA on his violin as well, which I did not use for him, because he needed the electronics in his ears, not the natural sound. There was also a sampler in stereo. Then banjo was high and low. That was basically split off of one output, but the low end was boosted. Again, coming off his pedal board with all the effects, we split it high-low so that we could get a little bit more control over the bottom end. And then we had the vocal channels, downstage center, stage left of center, and then far stage left vocal, a spare vocal, and then the channels marked IAM were audience mics that were out in the audience just to feed the stereo in-ears. And then there's a talkback locally. That was my talkback, you can see there. And then we get into the opener. Was really simple. It was acoustic guitar, 2 vocals, and a little mini drum kit, which consisted of a suitcase as a kick drum, snare drum, and a cymbal. So kick, snare, overhead, a DI for the acoustic there, and then 2 vocals far and near from stage right to stage left. And then further down the channel count, I don't know if we have a picture of it, is talkback coming back from front of house so that their engineer could talk to them in their ears. Pretty simple stuff. Here's a picture of the stage setup when the audience is coming in just after doors. And there's a picture of the opener there doing their thing. It turned out to be a really great show. It was a lot of fun. It was a little bit challenging with all the open mics, but we had a really good time. Got out of there around 12:30 last night. I think I got back home around 1 a.m. By the time we loaded the truck and closed it up, it was brutally cold out here in DC. We got down into the negative temperatures with a lot of wind, which I know for a lot of people that's no big deal, but living in DC, you don't really necessarily own a lot of clothes that can handle -5 or 10 degrees plus wind, especially while you're working. So trying not to sweat while we were loading out while being that bundled up. Definitely interesting. So it was a really great gig. Let me know if you have any questions. And I'll try to do something else. I've got some more stuff coming up here in the next few days. Try to do something a little more in depth when they're more corporate or non live shows like this. These live shows are obviously put on. This was a Live Nation show. These shows are obviously put on by promoters at venues, and shooting video is not allowed at the majority of these jobs, especially not by the crew. So trying to be careful of not taking any video of the performances and using that on my YouTube channel. Obviously, that's not cool. So when we get into more corporate or more easygoing stuff as far as the production goes, I'll be able to shoot a little more video on the jobs. But yesterday just wasn't the opportunity to do that. So that's the whole thing. Hope that was informative. I can definitely go a little further into the system we were using. If anybody has any questions, monitor wise, it was really simple. It was Sennheiser in-ears stereo, Shure hardwired packs. For the mono, we had those set to mono. Actually, we had them set to stereo with the limiters on, and using Y cables to Y a mono feed into those. That was the front of house. They were carrying those adapters, and that's how they wanted to do it. And other than that, I was on an LS9, so not a whole lot to say. We were using SRX-712 wedges down front for the vocal mixes. The mics that they were singing into were Beta 57s, pretty straightforward. That's what they were carrying. We used Audio-Technica 6100s for the opener. All radial DIs between what we had and what they were carrying with the tour. And it was just a really, really fun little show. It wasn't anything crazy to deal with. But let me know if you have any questions, leave comments, and I'm more than happy to explain more about any aspect of the gig or putting on a show of that size, or what goes on in that room, or anything you might have questions about. So throw a comment below, shoot me an email, like and subscribe if you enjoy the videos and want to see more. Thanks a lot for watching. See you next time.